downhill consists of a 2.2 kilometre course straight down the mountain. Certainly no place for the faint-hearted, with competitors reaching speeds of up to 80 kilometres per hour.
So pretty much from 2010 onwards, the sport just boomed. There was such big growth worldwide. 2011, 2012, I went to Whistler for a couple of summers and sort of the potential of, major bike parks and the big events they're doing. Saw Crankworx.
The biggest mountain bikes contest in the world is about to begin.
Came back to Thredbo in 2012 and we sort of hatched the idea of bringing an event like Crankworx to Australia. That's when Cannonball was born, I guess, in 2013.
Timmy came to me with an idea to run a world-class mountain bike festival here in Thredbo. Thredbo had always run mountain bike events, but never, I guess, a festival of this kind. We had multiple brands they set up. They're here for 5 days. We've got spectators that purely come to meet the brands, have a look around the event hub, and we've got riders that come from all over the world.
Lucas Shaw here.
Josh Carlson here.
Ray Morrison.
Tom Crimmins. Graham Mudman. Ewan Bailey.
Rachel Straight here in Thredbo.
I think with Cannonball, I guess the main difference is it was for the people. Yes, we did have a lot of professional level riders. The concept of Cannonball was to basically create this massive weekend, a celebration, bring people together and then enjoy that mountain biking, that energy, that excitement that the crowd and spectators can bring to a mountain biking event.
An amazing upset this afternoon. The first place getter, riding the Thredbo MTB.
What I get?
$5 mate.
No way.
It's yours. You took it out.
Andrew Crimmins.
Yeah, sure, his boys like Troy Brosnan and Mick Hannon and stuff that you just look up to when you're younger, and being my name above theirs is just crazy. I can't believe it.
Andrew Crimmins will set the world on fire again. Andrew Crimmins. Andrew Crimmins. What are they doing?
Always makes you push a bit harder, knowing that they're going to put down a good time. And I've been racing here for 6-7 years now, so pretty handy knowing where I'm going and where I can make up time.
Yeah, stoked for the young kid. He's ripping out there. I'm feeling pretty sore right now, but it'll be good for me to go back and just do a harder training sessions and go for wins.
Troy Brosnan, will he take it home? $5,000 richer. And Brosnan takes it in. Scraps it. He's going so fast. He has to scrap that into first. On a 6:41. Troy Brosnan. The time of 5:15 for Troy Brosnan. It goes to Troy Brosnan.
Top spot, and I'm stoked. Have a race in the wet and have so many fast guys here and get on the top spot. I'm just wrapped, and I think it's third or fourth time in a row, so can't complain. Track is definitely long enough and suitable to be a World Cup track. We've got a chairlift, and Thredbo puts on a great event and always does little changes to make it new and fresh, and definitely think this track is one of the best ones in Australia and one that I love coming back to. Yeah, I think that Cannonball is a great festival. It brings everyone that either rides or doesn't ride and come to party and ride your bike and just have a great time. It's really laid back, and there's always music pumping and good times, and just a fun event. No one's really stressed or anything. It's just lots of fun and definitely something to be a part of. It's been crazy. I was first here in 2007, and it was only one track and not much going on, and since I've been growing and Thredbo has been growing, it's a lot bigger. There's jump trails and a lot of things a lot of tracks for everyone, and you can be a racer, you can just be a rider that just wants to have fun, and everyone's going to have a good time and riding together and get to know new friends, and it's a good time.
Back when I first started, it was, we might only see maybe 30 people riding the Cannonball downhill on any given day. These days you come up on a Saturday, it's quite common to see a 6-year-old girl taking a lesson or jumping in a lift line next to Kaya Hearn, junior world champion. So it really does cater for everyone these days, and we've seen the sport grow so much, and Thredbo's helped with, the growth of the trails up here and the facilities.
Thredbo means so much to me, having such a great place to be able to train, ride and race. Not many people are lucky enough to have big facilities like that, especially only 2.5 hours from us living here in Canberra.
In 2010, I think it was, I did a coaching clinic with Tracy Hanna, who at the time was my biggest idol. I idolised everything she did, and one day I hope to follow in her footsteps, racing for Australia. I'm stoked now to be instructing up at Thredbo and inspiring the younger generation coming through. Like, I looked up to Tracy back then, and now I know some local kids look up to me, and that's a pretty cool thing. The park expands every year. There's something new, a new trail, some new features, such a huge variety. You tend to see a lot of more younger families around riding too, which is pretty cool to see. When I first started, I was generally the only girl riding with the boys, and in some ways that's good because it helps push you along. But now it's just grown massively that there's so many more female riders around. They give the boys a run for their money.
To see how big the sport is today, and right now seeing it actually booming worldwide, I think that's only going to build into the future.
It might seem intimidating from the outside, but it's really a friendly sport to get into, and it's why I love it.
I really can't believe it's been 30 years of mountain biking at Thredbo. I mean, that's before my time, and the sport in Australia has grown unbelievably in those 30 years.
Some of the key riders that I used to travel with, still friends with today, still keep in touch with.
Pretty awesome to see where it progresses over the next 30 years.
So, that experience for me has just changed over the years, from racing to fondest memories now are going up there with my wife and my daughter and doing some runs and ripping around the little tracks around the place, taking my daughter out on a little bike. There's just nowhere else in the world like it.